Joyride, 1957, a novel of intrigue by J.P. Wasmiller, Chapter 84. The Clinton Museum had been built in 1892 and was a small building but had a treasure trove of artifacts and pictures. Near the front was a glass case, and in it James spotted what he was after. It was a piece of wood about 8 by 12 inches with some sort of carving on it. He wasn't sure what it was or meant, but it was unlike anything he had ever seen. The carving seemed to be of some sort of language, but was certainly not runes. With the help of a $20 Canadian bill, he convinced the college student on duty to let him photograph it. Bree, it turns out, was an amateur photographer who had won a couple of photo contests in Helena. She took about 6 pictures of the artifact, and then the two scoured the museum for other artifacts. But nothing significant was found. The two thanked the student, who urged them to return soon. She never had gotten $20 with so little effort before. It's almost 5 in the afternoon, so the two got in the Crown and headed back to Kamloops. They arrived by 6 and checked into the Plaza Hotel on Victoria Street and sat down in the hotel's restaurant for supper. James ordered the porterhouse steak medium and Bree the salmon. The two ate their Caesar salads in relative silence. James was thinking about his artifact, of which he now had a picture in front of him thanks to Bree's shots with a Polaroid. Bree was also reviewing where they would go next and what her future held. She had walked out on an excellent nursing job, a husband who didn't love her but provided for her. She didn't love him either, but thought she loved Dr. Durand, who is also married but seemed to be considering leaving his wife for her. She doubted that would ever happen, but it had been her last best hope for love. That is, until James rolled into the ER about a week ago, or was it longer? It seemed like they had been in love for a year or years. She didn't want to think too deeply while her dream was in progress, but she let her mind slip into reality a few times. "Would you like some sourdough while you wait for the main course?" the waitress said. She was a tall, dishwater blonde Canadian girl with a few freckles accenting her long blonde hair tied up on the top of her head. "Please," Bree said, her brain jarring back to the present. The waitress leaned over the table and put another piping hot basket of sourdough bread down on the table, making sure James had a good view down the front of her white blouse. Bree noted this, but was very used to this with her husband and Dr. Durand, who was rumored to have bedded nearly every nurse at St. Peter's Hospital. James pored over the picture of the Clinton Museum artifact, but could not seem to make any headway. It seemed to be gibberish, and his face expressed the disappointment. It all seemed to be a bunch of L's and T's interspersed with a bunch of 9s and 0s. As he stared at the picture, he began to realize that nothing he was looking at made any sense, nor would it in the future. He was just trying to make something out of nothing once again, just like an Oak Island. Maybe it was time to abandon all this craziness, but then he remembered the library in Kelowna and, of course, the librarian. She had given him the best massage of his life, and he so wished he could have another tonight. He would check into Kamloops Library tomorrow, but was sure that librarian would be a chunky 60-year-old woman. Oh well, tonight he had his love, Bree, to keep him warm, something she was very adept at. He looked up at her, and she at him. They reached their hands across the table and leaned over and kissed.